Hey everybody, welcome to episode 125 of Is This Thing Working? How you doing, Denise?
I'm doing great.
Did you have a
Great
good
thing.
holiday?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. We got a lot done around the house. It was pretty cool.
We got all our projects done.
I know we had a list,
Yeah.
and then we did the Memorial Day special, and it turned out really great.
Yep.
So that was fun.
Yep.
We enjoyed that for yesterday. It was short. It was only about Memorial Day, and we honored and remembered those that lost their lives in battle for freedom.
Yep. And then the rest of the day turned out good. We had some nice skirt fajita meat. We had some nice chicken. We put it all out there on the Blackstone and brothers and sister down, and we had a good time, man.
Yes, we
just
did.
Hanging out.
We put up a little pool over the weekend. That was one of our tasks. And it's just enough for us to get in and just get cool because it gets hot here in Texas. And it was already getting hot, and we're working outside. We have a greenhouse and all that, so we're always outside at the time that it's the hottest. And man, jumping in a little pool yesterday
With your Modelo and your
Yes,
cigarettes.
that's it.
Yeah, with
I
your
would just
nice
kick
cold
back
drink. Yep.
in my little seat that I got to sit in it. So that's what I'm going to do after work and after we're finished talking to you every day. Take a book. I'm going to get caught up on all my books that I have gained from supporting all conservative book writers. It's been really cool. I've read some. I want to get all caught up and read it all. So that's what we're going to do. And at this time, as we're recording the podcast, the weather is going crazy over here in Texas, up in North Texas, around McKinney, up in, Nacogdoches County?
Nacogdoches
They're
County.
getting it really bad right now in Tyler. And
yeah, from there all the way up northeast, even into southeast Oklahoma, southwest Arkansas. It's
it's pretty bad right now. So please, everyone say prayers for everything.
Yeah, and even over the weekend, you had the tornado that hit right up there near Valley View and Sanger and all of that, and messed a lot of stuff up there by Gainesville, between Dallas and Gainesville.
And that's exactly where that storm's at again today.
Yeah.
So let's pray for all those people out there. We were talking about it earlier. It's been a really crazy storm
weather season.
And so now, even if you see one of them powerful storms coming through, there's got to be a tornado in it.
Yeah. And we here right in our area of East Texas, we didn't even have like the bad storms that Houston had, that big terrible storm they had last week or week before.
Oh, the one that was supposed to hit here but went further south. That hit Houston.
That basically just strode past us and just slammed Houston.
God, it was crazy.
But, just talking about that, the rainfall amounts for our area in Angelina County for the year, we're already 15, 16 inches over what a yearly average would be.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I think we're at like 34 inches already.
Mm-hmm. Which makes it extremely hot when it isn't raining because the ground is so wet.
Yeah.
And so the humidity is crazy.
And the more that it rains, the more that the big trees are going to fall because the ground's too soft to hold them.
That's it.
So everybody just pay attention to the weather. Be careful when you're getting out, moving around. Like everybody says, if you're on a roadway and there's water going over the top of that roadway, if you're not very familiar with that roadway and there's water over that road, it would be wise to find another route. Don't go through that stuff, man. That road could be caved in underneath.
You never can tell, especially with as much water as
turn
we've
around.
had.
Yep, turn around, don't drown.
That's it.
Before we get started today, though, let's remember our sponsor. Today, our sponsor is Brickhouse Nutrition. And one of the great products that Brickhouse Nutrition has is Field of Greens, your daily dose of vibrant nutrition, packed with organic greens, fruits, and vegetables. Each scoop delivers essential vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Simply mix with water or add to your favorite smoothie for a refreshing boost of vitality. Fuel your body with the goodness it craves. Experience the power of Field of Greens and thrive every day.
I love Field of Greens. I have some myself. I use it every single day. It gives me energy. After I get through drinking my coffee, of course, I have a green drink, and I love it, and I put it in my green drink. It's part of it, and they have different flavors. I have the wild berry, so check them out. Thank you to our sponsors and for you for picking on the link below. Get you some Field of Greens. You'll feel better for it.
It's www.brickhousenutrition.com.
Well, friends, please do us a favor and share the show with all your friends. Also, stomp that like button and follow or subscribe wherever you see our name. Is this thing working? You can get to every show and podcast on our website, which is, and please go look at it. It's really, I've been working on it really hard. I'm fixing to expand it. All of our sponsors are on there. You can go and support them. So it's www.is-this-thing-working.com. So check us out. And thank you very much for helping James and I grow every day. We're doing so wonderful.
Yep. And
all because of you.
Yeah, and as she's talking about our website too, we have all of our podcasts listed on there. We have our top 5 videos. Our video shows are listed on there too. So they're there for your listening pleasure, and they're for you, as we always say, to become informed and become engaged.
That's right. First today, we're going to do Trump Watch. We do this every day because, my goodness, President Trump, he ends up in court every day, it would seem like, and it's going to be that way until after the election. And even if he wins, or when he wins the election, I guarantee you they'll keep him in court. But what's so crazy is Judge Merchan, he is going to allow the prosecution to do closing arguments last. And this is Trump's statement last night. On Truth Social, he wrote, in all caps, "Why is a corrupt government allowed to make the final argument in the case against me? Why can't the defense go last? Big advantage. Very unfair. Witch hunt." And then he signs it DJT.
And so about an hour ago, he walked into court for the closing arguments today. And here's his video statement from this morning before he walked in.
Make no mistake about it. I'm here because of crooked Joe Biden. The worst president in the history of our country is destroying our country. This country is being destroyed rapidly, not slowly, rapidly. On the borders, on energy, on inflation, on everything you can name. Afghanistan removal, everything about what he's done. He's destroying our country. And he's also destroying it with weaponization. And this is purely his weaponization. See who's in the courtroom. You go just see who's in the courtroom. You'll see. And you'll see where they come from. And if you report it accurately, a lot of people are going to be very upset. But this is all election hunting, election interfering. It's going after Joe Biden's political opponent because he can't do it himself. And they're helping out. And we have a judge who's highly conflicted. He happens to be corrupt. It's the worst confliction. It's the worst that anybody's seen. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. There can't even be the prospect of an impropriety.
That was President Trump's statement this morning before he come out. And we have heard every morning he talks about the election interference, and he talks about the witch hunt that's going on. And listen to what he talked about today. He talked about the impropriety and the corruption and the biasness of this judge. You think this judge is, President Trump, everything that he said is justified.
Yes,
every bit of it.
Everything he said is justified. We've all seen it. Everyone sees it. And he's right. The judge is conflicted. And what he really means by that is the judge has no choice but to be biased because his family and everything that his whole judgeship resides on is the Biden administration and how much money they're paying his family, his daughter,
And her political action committee.
Yeah, and her PAC. And, so he is conflicted.
Yeah.
I mean, and
there's
to me, that would
of
be
ethics violations.
Tons of ethics violations. And we have Representative Elise Stefanik who has stood up, and she has done the very best that she can. She filed an ethics complaint against him. But before she did that, this is a video that where she was talking at the New York GOP, April 3rd.
Yeah.
So listen to her, what she had to say.
Amidst all of these crises created by Joe Biden and Democrats' failed policies in the radical far left, you see their polling plummeting. The illegal weaponization of the justice system against President Donald Trump is an unprecedented and desperate form of election interference. And it's far-left Democrats right here in our home state who have been leading this unconstitutional and unethical lawfare against President Trump because they know that Joe Biden can't beat him at the ballot box. from corrupt Tish James to unethical judges whose families are profiting to the tune of tens of millions of dollars off of these illegal witch hunts. The latest, just look at Alvin Bragg's sham case against President Trump. The Democrat Manhattan judge overseeing the trial donated to Joe Biden's campaign and another anti-Trump cause in 2020. The judge's direct family member is a Democrat political operative who is directly profiting off the trial to the tune of tens of millions of dollars. And the Democrats in the mainstream media, the stenographers for the Democrats, are trying to do everything they can to cover this up and refuse to report on it. When President Trump raised the additional evidence of this judge's bias, the judge retaliated by expanding the unconstitutional gag order on Trump. The left and the media seek to silence us, silence Republicans, because they can't afford to let the moral truth be known.
And she's exactly right. The Democrats are losing bad. They're losing so bad. But one of the main reasons they're losing is their lawfare against President Trump. And they refuse to stop doing it. They are going to continue to do it over and over. But what we want to know, what does the New York law say about this?
Exactly. And I was thinking that as we're listening to this statement by Elise Stefanik, and you hear these things, and if you don't at least research and look up what law says, and you listen to her, they sound a lot like talking points that you would hear out of the media being one-sided, same as you would with CNN trying to bring up accusations or implications or any of these things, and you hear that out of them, and you go, like when we were listening to Tulsi Gabbard the other day, and remember I talked about all the talking points that you notice them right off, and what do you do with them? You discount them most of the time because you recognize, you go, shit, that's
I immediately tune out that.
Exactly.
Because it's totally bull BS.
Exactly, and most people will. But if most people will at least spark their own curiosity, and like you said, let's go to the law. Let's read what the law is saying about these things. So,
and this is the New York judicial conduct.
That's what I was going to say. A great resource to look up is the state of New York rules and laws on judicial conduct. And in this law, in section 100.2, it says a judge shall avoid impropriety and the appearance of impropriety in all of the judge's activities. He shall respect and comply with the law and shall act at all times in a manner that promotes public confidence in the integrity and impartiality of the judiciary. From the get-go, in this case, you have not seen any of that take place. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You have not seen him at any time act in a manner that promotes public confidence. Not one time. Not one time.
Not one time. You're right. A judge shall perform the duties of judicial office impartially and diligently.
He ain't done either one of those.
He has not done any of those.
Let's keep going. There's another good section here. 100.3. Yeah, when you say that he shall perform his duties of his judicial office impartially and diligently, he shall require order and decorum in proceedings before the judge. A judge shall be patient, dignified, and courteous to litigants, jurors, witnesses, lawyers, and others with whom the judge deals in an official capacity, and shall require similar conduct of lawyers and of staff, court officials, and others subject to the judge's direction and control. In just that section right there, Judge Mershon has never showed that he's patient. He's never showed he's dignified, and he's never been courteous to the defense, litigants,
or the witnesses.
Yeah.
No, look what he did to Mr. Costello.
Exactly.
You know, he kicked him out of the courtroom.
A defense witness.
A witness. And then wouldn't let him be heard again the next day.
Exactly.
You know, this judge has done this. This is just an example. He's done this throughout the whole trial. He has denied witnesses, denied evidence, you know, that would totally exonerate President Trump. He's denied it all. And we're showing you how it is bias.
Yep.
You know, and the judge, there's another one for here. A judge shall perform judicial duties without bias or prejudice against or in favor of any person. A judge in the performance of judicial duties shall not, by words or conduct, manifest bias or prejudice, including but not limited to bias or prejudice based upon age, race, creed, color, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, gender expression, religion, national origin, disability, marital status, or socioeconomic status, and shall require staff, court officials, and others subject to the judge's direction and control to refrain from such words or conduct.
And look at all the different descriptions that they gave right there. In all fairness, you could sit here and say, okay, well, Judge Mershon, he didn't manifest bias or prejudice based on age, race, creed, color, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, gender expression, religion, national origin, disability, or a marital status of President Trump. They haven't done any of that. He hasn't. To be fair, he hasn't done that. But the very last one, a socioeconomic status. What is President Trump? President Trump is wealthy.
Yes.
President Trump is also a main political opponent of Judge Mershon's daughter.
Yes, who has a lot of money and can run this election without anybody else's money.
Exactly.
And so they're in the process of trying to take every bit of his businesses and wealth away, so that he can't run for president. Well, I'm sorry, but he's got a lot more money than they, I guess.
Yep. And you want to know something here at this point? I'm almost to the point where I don't believe they're going to give him an acquittal. They're not going to give him or an innocent sentence. They're not going to do any of that. The jury is going to find him guilty. I'm just to the point where I'm just going to have to accept that's what's fixing to take place. But based on all of this that we've seen right here, the next best thing we can hope for is that when it goes to appeal, it gets thrown out. That's the best we can hope for at this point in
and that's
time.
pretty sad that's the best that we can hope for, because this judge needs to be recused. He needs to be taken off the case. The case needs to be thrown out. We all know what needs to happen. But no, we have to wait for an appeals court while the Democrats go around for the rest of the election cycle calling him a criminal, or it was a hung jury.
Yeah,
that's
all they want. That's all they want, to be able to smear him.
They say their president is coming out right after the verdict to make a statement from the White House. But not in the campaign, not on the campaign trail, from the White House. He should not make a statement at all. He should keep his big fat mouth shut and leave President Trump alone.
Agreed.
And let him come out and they're all pissed. They're pissed because of New York.
Yep.
And he even showed up to the Libertarian mess over there.
The Libertarian convention, yeah. He even told them, hey, the ones that were just starting to try to disrupt it and boo him. He even told them, hey, y'all just keep being the 3% losers. I thought that was hilarious.
It was hilarious.
Rolling, man.
And what I thought was even more hilarious is when they elected some guy, I don't even know his name. That weird guy they elected or whatever. And I said, okay, so now you'll have 1% instead of 3%. I mean, because really the person they picked to run for their party is absolutely
a joke.
Just a joke.
But while we're talking about elections,
that's it.
Texas has primary runoffs today.
Everyone, please vote. MAGA needs to get out, and they know what to do. We've been talking about this for a year now, and we do not want Dade Phelan as the Speaker of the House, so you know what to do.
Yep.
You go out there and you vote against him.
Yep.
You vote for David Covey. That's who we want. We want David Covey, and make sure you vote for John O'Shea in District 12 and Carolyn Kane in District 7 and Brandon Herrera in District 23.
Yep, those are the ones
that we're really pushing. The State Board of Education is also important. So Mary Bone in District 10, Jamie Coleman in District 12.
Yeah.
These are very important. And if you want to know who MAGA is supporting, please go to TrueTexasProject.com, and everything will be in there for you. But today is the last day to vote. It is so, so important to get out there and vote for David Covey. I'm going to say it one more time in District 21. David Covey. Okay, it's very important. We really need to change the makeup of our
Texas House.
Of our House.
Yep.
It's so important. This speaker that we're trying to primary out of here has allowed Democrats to be involved in big committees. And this is why we can't get our priorities voted on.
If you look at it, they're basically playing the same game that's being played in D.C. in our House of Representatives there, which is basically what has happened is the Republican Party has more infiltrated Democrats in it than we've got true Republicans in it. So we've got the Uniparty. We've got the Democrats working with those few Republicans that always control everything, and everything always shifts toward that side. All the votes go that way. If they don't want it, it don't fly. And that's exactly what the same game that Dade Phelan and the Democrats have pulled here at the Texas House.
Yeah, and
the same game.
And don't forget ever what they did to our duly elected Attorney General, Ken Paxton. Dave Phelan and the Democrats wanted to get rid of him because he's effective. But the people had just elected him.
Yep.
And they didn't listen to anybody and continued this impeachment process of our Attorney General. This is one of the main reasons why he's got to go. This and school choice.
Yes.
So Dade Phelan has got to go because the Senate passed a bill. Dade Phelan and his Democrat cronies and Republican cronies decided, oh, no, we're not going to do this because we don't want to. I mean, why? So no, we need a change in the Texas House. And you are the change. You yourself can change it by going out and voting. It's very important. Is this thing working?
Rise up. Well, hey, everybody, that's it for today. Thanks for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed the show. Hope you've learned some things about what's going on around us in the nation and in your communities. We couldn't do this without your continued support either. We appreciate all of you showing up, taking the time to listen to us today. So please, like I say, make sure to hit the like button, share our show with all your friends. We'll see you next time on Is This Thing Working? And as always, I'm James, and that's my lovely co-host over there,
Denise.
And we'll see you next time.
We're out.